we're with Chris Giustina, one of the senior captains on the Eastern Connecticut men's soccer team. Chris, over the last 6 or 7 years, Eastern has turned into one of the premier programs in New England, and people have come to expect them to win. But I don't think a lot of people understood the amount of injuries it took for you guys to have such a good regular season.
Yeah, this year we've dealt with so many injuries. So adversity, like we've had to deal with all season. In the beginning of the season, I couldn't play, had knee surgery, so that was a big part, helping not having the back line, all younger guys. So that was one. A couple other injuries. Mitch was injured in the first couple games, so that was big up for his forwards. And going throughout the season, now we have Ryan Pomeroy out, Manny out, so couple other marks been out for a while too, so a lot of adversity, and coaches really stress that this is a unique team because we haven't really dealt with this many injuries in the past maybe 6 or 7 years that he's been here. Especially the past 2 years that I've been here, we've been very lucky to not have a lot of injuries, so it's been hard this year to try to overcome that, but with Coach helping us, with the players that we have now, the upperclassmen, Mike, Luke, Dan, Mitch, Carl, they've really helped out and dealt with all the injuries. So it's been a tough year, but we're getting through it, which is nice.
Talk about your injury. You were out for about 3 weeks. Was there any point in that injury where you thought maybe you were going to have to come back, you were going to lose the whole year?
There was some thought. There was definitely some thought. Going into the preseason, I didn't know if I was going to be able to participate in the preseason, so I met with Dr. O'Connor, which is a great asset to Eastern right now. He's been really a great sports medical person to have for the Eastern community. So he told me that there was 2 different options. I may have to sit out the whole full season, or I'd just be out for about 3 to 4 weeks, and ended up getting surgery, and it was only the 3 to 4 weeks, which was kind of nice. But going through that stage before, I definitely did think I may be coming back one more year to fill out that last year of eligibility.
Well, do you think the team right now, heading into the Little East Tournament semifinals on Wednesday, is this team as healthy as it's been all year?
Yes and no. It's kind of a tough situation. I mean, we're missing some players, but some younger guys are really stepping up. We lost a couple young guys. We're a very young team, so losing some players is tough, but the younger guys that are there, they're really stepping up too. So it's really nice to have like a lot of young kids to help out with each other, like everybody. So
those younger guys, if you guys were all healthy this year, there's a chance they would have gotten very much less time. So that's got to help them going into the semifinals on Wednesday, the experience they've gotten.
Yeah, right off the bat we played Swarthmore, and their ranked team in the beginning of the season being ranked 15th, and they were returning the same team as last year when they, I'm pretty sure, went to the Elite Eight. So we brought them into a 3-3 tie, and Mitch and I were both out, and there was only 3 upperclassmen playing in that game. So a lot of the younger guys got a lot of experience there, and then we've gone into a couple of overtime games in the Little East Conference to really deal with what the pressure is coming through to these next couple games, going into the semis and then into the championship.
Well, there's a number of players on this team that have only won the Little East Conference, which one of them is you. You've been here, this is your 3rd year, you've won 3 regular season, and you've won 2 postseason. Once the games start, once the semifinals start against Rhode Island, and if you get to the finals, once the final starts, does all that stuff go out the window? Do you forget about streaks and winning and all that? Do you just play your game?
Yes, definitely. Coaches really emphasizes on just one game at a time, which is really nice. And with the younger kids, maybe they may not know what legacy's behind them or ahead of him. But I mean, it's in the back of my mind, but it's really not something us the upperclassmen don't really focus on, because it's just something. It'll be unique after, but once we want to accomplish it first before we actually start thinking about it and talking about it.
Yeah, no team is, in the history of the conference tournament, no team has won 3 in a row. Eastern Connecticut has won 2. Tell me this, though, quickly. Is it difficult? You've been here 3 years, and all 3 years you've had a different starting goalie behind you. Does that make any difference?
I don't think so. I think Coach brings in the right kind of guys.
But in terms of that communication level with them?
It's different. I mean, the first with Carl Apple and then Jordan Munsell, I mean, they both were at practices, so we kind of got different experiences with both of them in the games. But with the freshman goalkeeper, I mean, he's got an experienced line ahead of him, so he's pretty confident, making us even more confident, and he's a great shot blocker, so we have tremendous
Confidence in that?
Confidence in it. Yep. So it just makes it a lot easier for us to go out and play, knowing that we have a very confident goalkeeper in the back line.
You know, anytime you see goalies that end up being All-American or have, 0.2 goals against average, something like that, yes, they're very, very good goalies, but you have to look at the defenders that are in front of them, right? That's really what makes the goalie, right?
Yeah.
If you're a goalie and you have to make 7 or 8 great saves a game, you're gonna give up a lot of goals, right?
Yes and no. I mean, sometimes we don't have the game that we want to, and we give up a couple shots, and that's going back to the confident goalkeeper. It's just knowing that he's going to make those eight or so saves to help us win a game. So,
well, talk about Rhode Island College a little bit. This is a hot team. They have only lost 2 games on the road this year, and you're one of the teams that beat them. And they've already been here once. Talk about Rhode Island College. What kind of difficulties they present to Eastern, the way they play?
They're a strong team. They always come in here and put up a fight with us. Like everybody else in the conference, everybody wants to beat us. We have a really big target on our back, so they're going to come out and leave everything out there. They got nothing to lose. We'd have nothing to lose, so everybody's just going to come after us. There's just everybody's going to play their A game, and that's one thing Coach emphasizes towards us is everybody's going to come here and beat us. They kind of want to come and beat us, yeah. Especially 3 years in a row being here at our home turf. It's a big part of having it here.
Well, do you think home field advantage is a big deal? In some sports like basketball it is. Do you think soccer is a big deal to be at home?
Definitely. Just your daily schedule. You get to sleep in that extra couple hours if it's at home. You get to go to your dining hall that will support you with the right food. Instead of away game, you have to get up maybe 3 hours earlier.
Yeah.
Get on a bus, travel 2 hours, sit on there for whatever, and then it's tough to get your mindset. And here you just get out of bed, go to the dining hall, come to your locker room, and it's just the same routine. Like this year, we've had a numerous amount of home games, and it pays off. You can tell by our home record, it pays off being at home.
Well, do you think the field makes a difference? Because you've been at Rhode Island College. They play on a more narrow field. Is that you guys would prefer a bigger field like Eastern's?
Yeah, the field does play a little bit, but if we go out and execute our game plan, the field shouldn't matter anything.
Well, is there anybody on Rhode Island, based on the first time you guys played, anybody on that team that you have to watch out for more than anybody else? Did anyone stick out in your mind? Any of their offensive players?
The forwards are pretty good. I think they're number 8 and number 9, and either the left or right winger number 5, and then the center back, and the goalie also. So we shut those people down, go at their backs, go at their goalie, we should be all right.
Is it a contrast in styles between your two teams? Your guys are a little bit more methodical, and they're sort of like trying to get under your skin, and they like try and go helter-skelter, don't they?
Yeah.
That's a tough team to contain.
Yeah, that's, another thing starts with the recruiting process and picking the right guys for here. Coach does a really good job of picking the right guys on and off the field, and that carries over into the game when guys are going after you. You're just staying cool, and it really just goes to how you're brought up, really, too. And I think that plays a big part on to how you portray yourself onto the field and to the program.
Well, last question, Chris. Somewhere along the line you're going to end up in penalty kicks. I mean, it's inevitable, either in the NCAA or in the semis or in the finals. Come towards the end of the year, last week or so of the season, do you guys start practicing penalty kicks, or is that something you do every day in practice anyway?
Nah, it's something we do towards at the end of the year, tournament time. It's win or go home, so got to leave everything out there and really just practice the things that, even though we don't want to come up, may come up. But we've got some good practice in the last couple days, and we keep continuing it. We don't do a lot, we just do one, and Coach sees what he has to see and pick shooters from there, and hopefully it doesn't have to get that far.
So that's going to do it. Eastern Connecticut hosting the Little East Conference semifinals on Wednesday at 2 o'clock at Thomas Nevers Field. Chris, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Bob.